Hi guys, this is Steffen, poker coach and founder of BecomeAnOnlinePokerPro.com. Welcome back to what I believe is episode 22 of the Bankroll building experiment. This is the YouTube series where I show you exactly what it takes to build a bankroll from scratch in 2013. Yeah, I think that was the intro, but I just wanted to first of all apologize for not really having uploaded any videos lately, but for some reason summer kind of caught me by surprise. I don't know, I hadn't really expected that there would be so much to do, not really work related in any way, but just more so chilling and having fun with friends. Everyone is off work, everyone is always doing something, something a little bit more interesting often than just sitting in your own apartment grinding poker or making poker videos or what have you. So I've just been out and about a whole lot, just enjoying myself basically. I haven't really been thinking too much about poker, and I definitely hope that you guys are having an awesome summer as well. I know not all of you have summer breaks, like from study. I guess I'm very lucky to be able to have such long breaks. I think my summer break is like 2 months, and I don't really have to work in between because I can just rely on poker winnings. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm privileged that way, but yeah, hopefully you guys are having some free time here in the summer to relax and enjoy and party with friends and enjoy family and so on. But yeah, let's just get into the results from the last video. As you can see, I haven't really been playing a whole lot, like 12,000 hands over the time period since the latest update. Is not really anything at all, but luckily, or I could say luckily is guess not really the right word. I guess I'm just gonna use it anyway. Luckily we're up like 5 lines, which is great. I'm happy with that. So yeah, right now the bankroll is currently looking pretty good. I can't remember exactly where we're at, but I'll tell you as soon as I get the tables up, then I'll let you know. And yeah, I don't know. It's been fine, just it's been pretty slow. When you play, this is probably only like 4 or 5 days of actual playing, and it's been quite a ways between, so it's kind of tough to say anything pretty coherent about how it's been feeling or how I've been doing. It's been feeling fine, the times I do sit down to play, I'm feeling a bit rusty, but that's how it goes when you take a lot of big breaks. But hopefully I'll still be able to provide you guys with good commentary. But we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll just go ahead and pause the video now and load up some tables. Alright, we are back, guys. Apparently it wasn't really as easy as I figured getting tables here in the evening summertime. Apparently a lot of guys like to play poker at this time. And it seems like we get to jump right into the action here with the 7-6 suited on table 3. This German Fischer guy is 3-betting quite a bit, and a suited connector like this is definitely strong enough to defend, especially since we min-raised, which means we're getting a better price on defending now. And I'm gonna open the 3-9 off because they're folding so much to steals. And here with the gut shot on table 3, we've got a gut shot, we've got a backdoor flush draw. Definitely going to call once here. We've got position. We can call turns like this. We picked up a flush draw. We can definitely call again now. And I know we can spike. We can spike both a flush and we can spike a straight. And sometimes we'll just go ahead and check the river and we can shove, and he'll probably fold, thinking that we won't fold the river since we called twice. So we probably have something, so he'll just check fold hands like jacks and some stuff like that. But in this case we bink and he shoves, and we're good. And he went all the way with the 7-6. And the thing about I think I kind of like the way he played the hand, you know. It's not too bad. I'm never really folding. I don't know if I'm folding too much. No, I guess I'm folding missed draws on that river, just because yeah, obviously they miss. So I guess he'll definitely make me fold out a bunch of draws, and I'm thinking if I had jacks in that spot, I'd probably 4-bet it pre-flop. Probably the same thing with tens as well. So I guess he's also folding out like a pair of nines. If I ever have that in that situation, he'll probably fold out a pair of nines. But mostly he's just folding out the drawy hands that I have that call twice, you know, like jack 10 or 10-9 or flush draws. So I don't really think his play is bad, because I probably have a lot of draws in a scenario like that. So now going all the way with a missed draw there in his spot is not really a bad thing, I don't think. But we binked the flush on the river, so it's obviously not going to work in that scenario. So that's a pretty nice start. On table 4 we isolate the ace-8 suited. We get a flush draw flop. We're just going to fire it. That's pretty standard, and he check folds and we pick it up, and that's fine too. The queen 10 off is too weak against another gun raise, even though we have a what looks like a fishy guy overcalling. That's just not enough. It's too weak of a hand. And ace 10 we're gonna raise up on table 2. This jack 4 might open sometimes, but I think it's just a little bit too weak. We're going to be opening pretty much anything if we open the jack 4 and don't really have any information on the small blind just yet. So, you know, I think just seeing a flop in position in that situation is going to be the best option for us. Just standard folds on table 2 and table 4. And as for the what the bankrolls is at, we're at 1600, so we are like $350 away from our peak, and we are $400 away from completing the bankroll building experiment. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to wrapping this one up, guys. It's taken far longer than I expected, but you know, I guess that's how it goes. When you hit downswings, and you know, when you take time off to enjoy summer or break your collarbone, what have you. But yeah, so we're $400 away now. Or I guess we're only like $350 away, because we just want to buying at table 3. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting that. Now the reason that I'm min raising here on table 3 is just because we have a short stacker in the blinds, and like the way they like to make money is 3-betting or just shoving over our button raising range. And because we're raising such a large range, we're going to be folding too often, and they're going to insta profit. And kind of a way you go about minimizing the amount of money they can make from you that way is to just make your opening raises smaller, because this means that he's now risking more to win less, thus making his play less profitable, and we can continue opening a fairly quite wide range. So that's kind of like my reasoning for min opening in that scenario. Other than that, I like to go 3x. I've been going kind of like back and forth on this, but I think I'm kind of settling on 3x, and then min raising only if there's a short stack on the blinds. Like 8-7 here is still too weak against the middle position open on table 2. We open up the ace jack on table 1, but you know, 4 callers, that's just too much. Even though this is a great flop to c-bet, that's just too much. Here with the ace 5, I don't know. You can definitely go ahead and 4-bet here. I'm sorry that you guys can't see his stats, but what I'm just checking out for is his 3-bet by position. You know, because sometimes these guys with very tight looking 3-bet stats, like this guy's only 3-betting like 6%, but sometimes if you go in and check the positional stats, you'll find out that these guys are 3-betting all the time from the small blind and none from the other positions. So you tend to find these anomalies sometimes when you check out the position stats that will allow you to figure out if the guy is more likely to bluff from a certain position or in a certain scenario. So let's say his 3-bet by position in that scenario from the small blind would have been like 20%, then I would have definitely 4-bet my ace-5 suited with the intention, you know, of getting him to fold. On table 2, we're just going to keep raising the button 100%, just because these two guys are folding so much from the blinds. Like, I thought I had that removed. That's weird. Yeah, flopping the gut shot on this low board. I think I'm just gonna check it back. Because I expect him to be 3-betting, you know, like his high pairs, like jacks and so on. I guess in my mind he's more likely to hit a flop like this than a high-carded flop. So in my mind he has a stronger range on low boards than I have. Which kind of mean I don't really want to be betting anything and everything all the time, because I think he's going to be continuing quite a lot. However, when I do check behind the gut shot, I'm pretty much always calling it on the turn, you know, just because we do have some equity, and you know, sometimes people are just blindly stabbing, and I did have an overcard as well which we hit, so you know, I do have some opportunities to improve. And now when he does check this river, I don't think he would check a straight. I don't think he would check a flush, so I'm pretty much certain that my 10 is good there. And you know, let's say I hadn't hit my 10 in that scenario. That's kind of the reason why I do call with the gut shot in that spot, because even though I don't win all the time when we do get to showdown, meaning I don't really make the best hand all the time, I do get opportunities to take it away from him. And after I do check behind the flop, I would expect him to bluff more often than not in those scenarios. So that's kind of my reasoning for that play. I hope you follow. I hope you follow my reasoning there. It's kind of the same situation like the 7-6 in the 3-bet pot on table 3. You know, you're calling because you can hit stuff, but you also get the opportunity to bluff if he ends up giving up, which can end up being worth quite a lot. Here on table 4, you know, I could check rate this hand, but based on the pot size c-bet, it looks like he wants to play a big hand, and I don't really want to check raise my open ender to play a big pot against this guy. The reason that you're check raising your draws is because you're hoping to get folds. You never really want to check raise a bare open ender wanting to get it in. You know, they're just not strong enough for that. The reason that you check raise them or raise them in the first place is because they get some added value from your opponent folding quite a bit. And whenever he's betting full pot, I don't really think I'll be able to get that value from him folding. So the core reasoning for check raising or raising draws in that scenario is kind of gone. So that's the reason we only end up calling in that spot. Yeah, and on the turn, you know, I just can't call. There's a chance now that my straight draw is no good because he could have a flush, and some of my outs are tainted now as well. So let's say he doesn't have a flush, he only has like one diamond. Now this means that my open-ended cards cannot be diamonds as well, and he is betting full pot and I'm out of position, so you know, I'm forced to fold in that spot, but that's alright. Ace-6 on table 2, I'm just gonna fold. Here with the 8s on table 1, we raised it up, the fish called, and we get a king flop. This is a situation where I would expect him, you know, to call with any ace high, sometimes queen high, just pretty much random cards, except maybe like the worst holdings he has, like 2-4 suited. He might find a fold without those hands, but I don't really expect him to fold much else. Here I'm gonna open up the ace-8 off. It's kinda on the loose side, but we do have a huge fish in the big blind, and I do want to play as many pots as possible against a guy like that, so I think opening it is fine. Um, 6-5 here on table 3. Flop the gut shot, so we're just going to go ahead and fire out. I don't expect this guy to have a very strong hand, but you know, who knows? I haven't seen him raise a hand yet, so he might just be calling pre-flop with all of his premium hands. But we do get an overcard, which is fine for us to keep applying pressure and keep barreling with our gut shot, and he does end up folding, so that's great. And he calls again pre-flop, so he's definitely a fish. Very loose and splashy, likes to see a lot of flops. And this guy isolates on the button, and I don't really want to 3-bet him with the 6-9 here. I would much rather 3-bet a linear range here, meaning, you know, my my Broadway hands, my pairs, 9s and higher, you know, basically all of my strong hands, because first of all, I think this will allow me to 3-bet an overall larger range than if I split it up and depolarize it. And second of all, I believe that in this particular situation, the fishy player is likely to just cold call 3-bets more often than not, and in those scenarios, the value of having a linear range, you know, having the strongest possible hands pre-flop is going to go up, and the value of having, you know, small suited hands like 9-6 that are good for applying pressure go down, because pressure is not really worth too much when you aren't getting a ton of folds. So yeah, the value of that goes down, and the value of hands that can create top pairs and stuff that is good at showdown goes up. So I hope that makes sense. Here we're 3-betting the ace queen. On table 2, I'm 3-betting him small, kind of allowing him to call way more than he probably should. But in this scenario, he does end up 4-betting, and you know, without knowing anything about him, I don't really like 3-bet folding in that spot, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. Just because the fact that he is sitting with less than a full stack, and the fact that he does 4-bet that big, kind of leads me to believe that he's probably a weak player, and when weak players tend to make big 4-bets, you're in trouble with ace queen. So that's my reasoning there. We're going to keep betting here with the 7-5 on table 4. Since this guy limped pre-flop, you know, he might have a weak ace, but more often than not, he's going to have a 6 or an 8. So yeah, I think, you know, continuing to apply pressure is going to be fine. I think he would have raised a strong ace pre-flop, so yeah, I think that hand's fine. Gonna isolate him again with the king 9. The ace 3 on table 1, I'm just gonna go ahead and call, just trying to see a cheap flop. And we do get a cheap flop, but we can't really bet, I don't think. We're just going to hope somebody takes a stab. Here with the king 9, you know, it's a decent flop. We have been c-betting quite a bit, so you know, I'm just going to try and check this one. And you know, we can hit a king, that's like running well. And now hope that he continues bluffing into us. But you know, let's say the turn was a 10, you know, we would have hit a gut shot, I would have called again. Or if it was a heart, you know, we would have had a backdoor hard draw, then I would have called again as well. So no, it's not like, oh, we call here and then we just give up. It's not like that at all. He did limp, so I don't really put him on king queen a whole lot. And the only hand that kind of beats me except for that is like jack 10. So I do really want to put in a raise here. You know, he doesn't really have much left, so you know, I think I'll just go pretty much put him all in. I do think he will have weaker 2 pairs, or you know, just go dead broke with the king often enough. Or do I believe he has enough combinations of that? Queen 9, 3-5, king 5. Yeah, I'm just going to be wussy and no, I'm just going to go for it all. He's definitely going to have jack 10 there sometimes. So you know, kind of like the outcome of that situation is not really, oh, did we win or did we lose? Like, did he have the queen 9 or did he have the jack 10? That's not really the way to approach analyzing a hand like that. It's, you should think about how many combinations of weaker hands that are calling are there, and how many combinations of stronger hands that are calling are there. You know, and thinking about it, you know, he can definitely have a set of 3s, a set of 5s. He could have a set of 9s that he decided to bluff on the turn. He could have jack 10. You know, all those combinations are there, both suited and offsuit jack 10s. So that's quite a lot of combinations. So for me to shove there, you know, he needs to have a lot of worse combinations. I'm pretty sure he needs to go broke with like top pair, a single king as top pair, for it to be good to shove there. So, you know, I'm still not convinced that I made the right play by shoving in that situation. My intuition basically told me to go for it all, because mostly when you're playing against these really bad players, it's kind of hard, it's kind of tough to kind of comprehend how bad they are in some situations. Like, when you're looking at that situation for the first time, you're thinking there's no way anyone is ever going to be bad enough to call it off with only a king in that situation. But as you continue playing, as you get more experienced, you'll notice that people are really, really terrible. And there are definitely players out there who are willing to call it off with, you know, just a lonely king there. And since I don't really know if that guy is that type of player or not, you know, it's kind of up in the air. But I decided to go for it. I guess that's kind of like my approach to playing weaker players. You know, when I don't really know if it's one or the other against someone who could potentially be extremely bad. I guess I'm in most situations more willing to, I wouldn't say gamble with them, you know, but give them the benefit of the doubt that they're really, really terrible. Just because when you are playing against really bad players, it's kind of like a race to get his money before somebody else does. This one is probably close, just because of the odds I'm getting. We do have a king. I don't know, I think we're just gonna fold it. I don't really like it though. I think I should have made my raise smaller just because I had a short stacker behind me. Anyways, raise pre-flop, dry flop, he leads. I got ace queen, I think I'm gonna call. Where was I? Yeah, when you're playing against a guy as bad as this one, this Marcel guy on table 4, it is definitely a race against the clock to get this guy's money. So, you know, I don't really think it's bad to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's bad there, just in case he is so terrible that he will call it off with like a king high. We got ace king. I'm just gonna forward this guy. Ace queen. This is kind of a tough situation. I don't really think he would be betting a 7 like this. You know, he could definitely just have hit with the 9-10. But I think there's a chance that he has a counterfeited small pair, you know, like a pair of 2s that are no longer good. I just think it's so unlikely that he plays a 7 on 8 this way. So I'm gonna call. I guess that's it. And he did end up having just the 3-6, and we did take it down with the ace king on table 1. So that was great. It's been a pretty nice session so far. It's always nice to be able to show you guys situations, you know, where we're doing well. You know, obviously you also get it. You also get all the sessions, also the ones that don't really turn out well. You know, you guys that have been subscribed to me for a while, you've seen those videos as well, where we just keep getting it in situations where we should be getting it in, but you know, things just don't work out, and today they have been working out, so obviously that's great. Here with the 4-8, you know, I think I'm just gonna take a stab. It's a board texture that's not very likely to hit anyone, and we did take it down. 3-2 I think I'm gonna complete for this price. And here with the ace-7 we're definitely gonna call. We do have backdoor draws to both the straight and the flush, and we do have the 1-over card. So yeah, I think calling again there is pretty mandatory, especially blind versus blind. And if it fires now, you know, we can safely give up. We missed all of our backdoor draws. And yeah, no reason to stick around for longer. But I think the flop is a definite call, and I think a lot of people are missing situations like that. Especially you guys who have a very high fold flop. You know, I see guys, some of the guys that I'm coaching will have a fold the flop c-bet instead of like 55-60. And you know, when you get that high, it quickly becomes instantly profitable to c-bet you. And you know, you can just tell when you have a strategy that allows your opponents to insta profit with c-betting you, then there's something wrong with your overall strategy, and you're basically just folding too much in regards to how much you're calling pre-flop. So the more you're calling pre-flop, the more you have to defend on the flop. You know, like yeah, hopefully you understand that concept. You know, if you are defending a larger range, yeah, you have to defend the same percentage of the range that you get to the flop with. But obviously, as your range, as the range you get to the flop with gets larger, the percentage stays the same, but you know, what comes out of that percentage is obviously dependent on how large the range is to begin with. And I'm pretty sure I just explained that in the worst possible way, but you know, I guess you can rewind it. I guess you can, you know, post the question in the comment section, and then I'll try to help you guys out. But hopefully you got it the first time and I just made a mess of it by trying to explain it again. But you know, there it is, it's live. I'm rambling. That's how it always goes when we make these videos, I feel. But you know, as long as you guys get something out of it, that's all that matters. And we've already been going for quite some time, so I think I'm going to cut this video off fairly quickly. But you know, we might go on just a little bit longer, just because you guys have been going on so long without any videos. So yeah, we might do that. Give you guys another three minutes. The Jack 9 is definitely a fold on table 2. And the Queen 3 is a fold, unless they're folding way too much to raises when they're in the blinds, but they're not, especially not the fishy short stacking guy. You know, this guy in the big blind would be a prime candidate for stealing, just based off on his pre-flop stats. He looks to be playing way too tight, so we could be coming after him by stealing his blind slot, but not really when this fishy guy's in the small blind. I think I'm gonna open here. It's kind of borderline on table 2 with the Queen 7 off. I think he's folding enough, like 67%. That's quite high, but I have been pretty active on the blinds over here, so I don't really know if it's adjusting to me or not. But anyways, you know, Queen 7 off can't really be that bad. And we get Ace King on table 4, gonna raise it up. King 8 on table 2, gonna raise that up. And we just took it down on table 1, so that's great. And we flop trips on table 4, so that's nice. We're just gonna bet it. Hope this guy is caught a worse king, or you know, a queen. Basically just hoping he has caught something, some kind of hand. And on table 1, I'm just gonna c-bet the kings. We might still be good here. I'm just gonna call on table 4, just to keep my range as wide as possible. You know, I want to call that the flop check raise with straight draws, with flush draws, with a single queen. And if I start raising up all my trip kings and all my full houses, and I just keep calling when I only have draws, my strategy, becomes kind of weak when I do get to the turn. So that it's kind of like a choice based on my entire strategy and not really based on only my that might be weak. I don't really know in this situation, just basically this guy is not really check raising a lot, and I think he would continue betting. Wow, I don't really know. That might have been a very weak play. The thing is, I'm pretty sure if he is actually if he does actually have a bluff in that situation, I'm pretty sure that he continues betting on the flush turn. I would be very surprised, if he decided to check the flush turn with the flush. So that kind of made me think, that he just hit his flush and now he's afraid to put too much money in against the full house. Or it tells me, that he has the full house himself, and he wants me to bluff if I have straight draw, and I don't really know about that hand, guys. I might be way off. Yeah, he could definitely have check raised a worse king than mine. Yeah, he could definitely have a hand like, but I guess the only hand I do kind of beat then is king 10. And even if he did check raise a gut shot like ace 10, he got there. So yeah, I guess it depends on how often he takes that line with, a worse king than mine. And I just don't know. So I don't think it's too bad to fold the river. I do think it's kind of a close spot, but there you go. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that hand in the comments. That would be awesome, because I definitely don't really know. I don't think it's clear cut either way, but it's always nice to get you guys' opinion on hands. Yeah. Wow, and we just breached 30 minutes. I don't think it's definitely been a while since I've made a video over 30 minutes, and I think I am going to just stop the video after these couple of hands. I'm gonna sit out now and wrap it up. Yeah, and we got folds all around on the ace king hand. Now there's only the 10 jack suited hand left. Let's hope we get an interesting hand to finish things off. And the button called, and we do hit the top pair. Like, the button definitely has quite a wide range, since he's limp calling that much. It looks like he's only raising, the top part of his range, so he could definitely have a lot of gut shots and open enders on that board, but he just folds. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out, and make sure to check out becomeanonlinepokerpro.com. You can grab your own free e-course there, where I basically outline a basic framework for playing winning poker. So you can go grab that there if you're interested, and I guess that's it. see you next time.